Alright, so today, this afternoon, I'm going to show you guys how to use Windows deployment services to deploy images from your server onto a new PC. Alright, so we're just waiting for our for our server to boot up properly. Alright, okay, so we're going to go to Server Manager. We're going to go to our roles. Okay, it's collecting the data, so we're going to wait until it's finished collecting its data. And so we are going to add our rules, right? Okay, we're going to click next. We're going to add Windows deployment services, right? So we're going to click next. Right, some additional information. We're going to install the deployment server and transport server, right? We're going to install these two features. Right, that's going to allow us to, one is the entire setup of deployment services, and transport server transports data between clients, right? So we're going to install those two. That will allow us to deploy our images. Right, so our rule services have been installed, so we're going to click close. Right, close here. We're going to go to start, administrative tools. I'm going to go down to Windows deployment services. Alright, we're going to click the drop down on server, and we're going, as you can see, it's not yet configured. So we're going to right click and we're going to select configure server. Alright, to successfully install and use Windows deployment services, you will need this computer to be a member of an Active Directory domain service, so it's a domain controller, an active DHCP server on your network, an active DNS server on your network, and an NTFS partition on the Windows deployment server for storing images. Alright, so we're going to keep that path. Alright, we got listen on port 67, configure DHCP option. If a DHCP server is running on the Windows deployment services server, Windows deployment services must be configured to not listen on port 67, and DHCP option tag 60 must be added to all DHCP scopes on your DHCP server. Alright, so that's why I selected these two here. We're going to click next. Alright, we're going to click respond to all known and unknown client computers. Alright, we're going to click finish, and that's going to set up the configuration for Windows deployment services. And after that, we're going to add a boot image and add an installation image. Alright, and then we're going to try to connect. We're going to create a computer, a new machine on Virtual Manager, and we're going to try to connect to our server and set up our Windows 7, install our Windows 7 image onto that PC. Alright, so we can either use this option to add Windows deployment server images to the server now. Alright, we can use here, but I prefer to add the installation images manually. So we're going to click add installation image. We're going to name it Windows 7 install image. Right. Okay, well first we have to make sure that our drive is added. So we're going to make sure that the drive is right. Right. So we're going to click browse. Right. We're going to go to computers, and we're going to select the drive, go into sources, and select install.wim. Right. Click next. Right. We have two versions. We have 32-bit and we have 64-bit. We're going to use 32-bit for this installation, and we're going to click next. Alright, we're going to use it times 86. Alright, Windows 7 Ultimate. So we're going to select next, and we're going to click next, and it's adding our image to our server. Alright. Alright, so we've successfully added our image to the server, and so now we are going to add our boot image to the server. Alright, we're going to click select boot image, add boot image. Alright, we're going to select browse, and we're going to select boot.wim. Alright, click next, next, and we're adding our image to our boot images. We'll be adding our boot images to our server, sorry. Alright, and as you can see, our boot image has been successfully added to our server as well. Alright, so we click finish. Alright, we're going to minimize our server here, and we're going to go into our VirtualBox manager. Alright, and we're going to create a new machine. Alright, we're going to name this machine alright, we're going to click next, 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 right, and then we allocated, create, right, okay, so we're going to adjust some settings here in our network. Right. Let's see if this works. We'll try this one for now and see if that works. right? Okay, so now we're going to power up our machine. We're going to deselect that, right? And allow it to go into boot failure, right? We're going to reset our machine again. We're going to press F12, right? And we're going to select LAN to boot from the LAN. So we're going to select L, right? And we press F12 again. Right, so we're going to try that again. Reset F12, boot from LAN, F12 again, and there you have it. Alright, as you can see, it's pulling from our server. Alright, that's where the file is loading from. So as you can see, it's successfully loading from the network. Alright, so I'm just gonna allow this screen to pass just to verify that the installation is going okay. And then I'm going to pause the video or fast forward the video to when the setup is complete. Right? Alright, as you can see, the setup is loading. Alright, so after the setup is finished starting, right, now we have reached the language portion. Alright, so we're going to click next. Right, so the domain name, right? Alright, so as you can see here, normally you would have a list of options to choose from, such as enterprise and standard edition. You'd either have full installation or only server basics. But now, because we've added it to this, we added this particular image to the server, we only have this image to pull from. So this image alone would be able to be deployed, this option that we have selected here. Alright, so we're going to click next. Alright, so we're going to select on this disk. We can partition the disk, but that will allow us to have a separate drive to store information and the system drive to install applications. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll just install it on the entire disk, right? So we're going to select next. Right, so as you can see here, it's trying to initiate a connection with the server to be able to install the files, right? So Alright, so this here is after this, basically after that, everything is basically a standard installation of Windows 7 2000, Windows, yes, Windows 7. Gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me. Yes, Windows 7. Alright, everything is a standard installation. After that, so I'm going to fast forward the video and I will show you the end product when I have completed the installation, right? Alright, so our Windows 7 program has been successfully installed. Alright, okay, I hope I remember that log on very well, but it should lead us to the Windows 7 Ultimate startup window and everything. Okay, so I just figured out my mistake. Alright, so we're going to log in to our server. Right, hopefully that is the correct thing. Because we're logging on to our domain, because it's been joined to the domain, so we are logging on to the swest.com domain, and it's preparing our desktop. Right, so as you can see, I have successfully deployed the image onto our new PC. Okay, I'm just gonna go into the settings and show that it's been joined to the domain, and that will be a wrap. Okay. Right. So we have successfully logged on to our swest.com domain. Alright. Still starting up. Right, our work network. Alright. So as you can see, we're currently connected to the swest.com domain. If you would like to have some further proof, we're going to go to our computer. Alright, so I guess this name here, we successfully changed it. I guess we can go in, and this is where we will change our names and, you know, do the usual change the names, yada yada yada. We can go into our local address. Alright, as you can see, it's been assigned the IP address of from number 12. Number 11 is already assigned to another PC. So number 12 would be the most available, the next available IP address. IP addresses 1 to 10 is reserved for like servers and routers and mail addresses and so on and so forth. So this is the next this is the next available host address for this computer here. Alright, so as you can see, we've successfully deployed our Windows 7 image from our server 2008 to our to our new PC, which is SDW Win PC1, or the name of the PC is Administrator. Okay, well, Administrator 1. Alright, you can see it's successfully been given a DHCP address via the DHCP pool from our server, and it has an IP address. It's been joined to domain. Everything has been done automatically, and that brings us to the end of our tutorial on deploying Windows image from our server onto a new PC. Thanks for your time today, and I really hope to see you in the future, and I hope all this information has been informative to you. Goodbye.